Hi, so continuing the tradition of reviews with students, I have Sarthak, who's in INL with me, and Ketan, poor guy, who's not even in INL but was persuaded to join us at the unearthly early hour of 11:20 show, after staying up till 5, by the way. And so, yeah, we saw The Great Wall. I think we all went in with very mixed feelings, with a lot of dread. And, guys, what was it about? First question.
I think the movie was about two guys. These two guys who are traveling and they are looking for this elusive black powder, which they have heard stories of, and they have heard about. It's basically gunpowder, and they have heard about how it can bring you all the riches and success that you have ever hoped for. And the backdrop is pretty epic. It's an epic backdrop of one of the legends surrounding the Great Wall of China, and it follows their adventures as they come close to it and some other exciting monsters on the way.
Sarthak?
So I think it's a pretty good. It's like instead of telling the regular history of the Great Wall of China, they've told like a fictional tale, and it's quite interesting because anyway, it's very mysterious, and you just add another element of mystery to it. And basically, yeah, it is like Ketan said about a couple of explorers who are in China looking for black powder or gunpowder as we know it today. And I guess it imitates the original tales of when Europeans actually went to China hunting for gunpowder, but it just makes it a lot more snazzy.
True. So think of it as Game of Thrones in a way, with that Great Wall and the Northern Wall and the winter is coming kind of a thing. And instead of the White Walkers or whatever you have in Game of Thrones, you now had these alien type, they call them Taute, and these are monsters. They're organized, they're intelligent, and how these two European mercenaries, which is basically Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal, again, Game of Thrones, you remember him as Oberyn Martell. He was one of my favorite characters until they, of course, brutally killed him. And here, he and Matt Damon are a kind of team. They meet Tian Jin, who is one of the commanders of the Wall Protectors, and they meet several other characters. Andy Lau is one of the famous ones as well. Uh, William Dafoe is another has another role in this film, and yeah, so it's all of this, and it's like the Game of Thrones wala wall, but set in China, and lots of nice Chinese. So, what do you think of the movie?
I think there's a lot of grandeur to it. It honestly reminded me of Return of the King because of there were a lot of shots, magnificent shots of the Great Wall with the armies assembling and everything, and the scale of the battles that they underwent. Okay, maybe not quite as big as Return of the King, but still very well done, very well shot, excellent cinematography. I mean, it's and we saw it on 3D, so it was the impact of those battles was absolutely amazing. And the best part was that I mean it didn't get repetitive.
Yeah.
It didn't have the same thing happening in every battle. There was always something extra, something new coming in as these guys kept trying out new tactics. And of course, it's a typical Hollywood action flick, so you do expect those, clutch moments and everything, which do happen. The standard tropes around Hollywood action, but it's not badly done. It's entertaining to watch.
I think, as Apurv mentioned, we did not go in with high expectations. Had 6.3 on IMDb, I guess. So, but then I think what I liked a lot about it is it's a very uncomplicated plot and storyline. There aren't twists for just the sake of having twists. It's not 300. There's not 300 types of monsters coming every day, and it's just one kind of monster, and they fight the same monster. It's very uncomplicated, but it turned out to be a really immersive experience. So it's one of the in the past couple of years, it's probably one of the better 3D incremental add-ons that I've seen in a movie. The music was music was really really good.
So he's a amateur self-taught musician. He worships A.R. Rahman. Who doesn't? And so Ketan had his particular take on the music.
Definitely.
Who
So Ramin Javadi,
Yeah.
same guy who scored Prison Break as well.
Loud for
Ramin Javadi with
Huh.
Prison Break, he had scored music for this film. It's very very immersive again. There's a lot of drums as you can associate with war. What I really liked was that you didn't have like too much Chinese whitewashing in the music. It need not be those Chinese flutes all the time.
all the time.
It was very very relevant to what was happening. So there was a lot of I could hear clarinets and oboes. It was a pretty good soundtrack, and that helped along with the cinematography that he mentioned. It was a pretty good experience actually.
And I thought there were several interesting things, like for example the army organized by colors, and each of the colors stood for something in the sense of one set was archers, one
Correct,
set was people with spears, one set was short combat. The different tricks that they used to fight, the whole thing about the fireballs, etc.
Correct.
Lots of different weapons used,
Yeah.
and how each one came up with a different way of kind of attacking the same thing. So it was, I think, as both of them mentioned, quite interesting. There was enough, let's call it the Chinese setting there,
Yeah.
but without trying to be too overt. It
Correct,
wasn't
yeah.
like a cheap Chinese restaurant.
exactly.
It was more like a
better.
cool, fancy.
If you've seen native Mandarin films that they show translated on Star Movies and HBO sometimes, so if you've seen those, it is not.
I've
it's
never
not.
been that
it-
desperate,
you know,
but-
it's not as outright
good.
in your face Chinese,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah.
they bring some of the grandeur elements from
Yeah,
there. They
yeah,
bring the
of course,
organization. They bring the. I mean, they show the same kind of discipline and the same kind of effects from there, but it's not so in your face as that. And there's no flying martial arts and everything. I mean, that's
That's
quite
also true.
toned down.
Yeah.
It's quite toned
Yeah,
down.
that's
in
true,
this.
that's
And there's enough undertones to keep you interested.
Yeah.
So there's also this parallel line of greed and deceit and
Yeah.
honor,
Trust.
and trust, and how these guys are
Yeah.
associated and how
So-
much they care for their country.
And I mean, it was the journey, like we said, of mercenaries, right? And then how that kind of takes off. So, guys, rubber hits the road. What would be the rating?
I would give it 7.5 on 10.
There's no halves on a 10-point scale. Otherwise, it becomes a
I
20-point
would
scale.
give it 8 on 10.
Oh my God! You have
I won't give it 8, but I'd give it 7. I think it's a good watch. It's a good one-time watch. Definitely entertaining for a one-time watch.
so I'm on the 7 on 10 side as well. I think I could easily watch it again as well. If it's coming on TV,
Yeah.
I would really not mind watching it again. But does it have a lasting impact? Does it have anything that I would take away? Probably not. It's good fun. Watch it once, at least, if not more. Guys, thank you so much. By the way, SC Johnson future, McKinsey future. So we have greatness in front of us, and they're trying to see whether they can look good in front of the camera too for an alternative career. So wish them well. Bye bye. Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much, Sarthak. Thanks, Kevin. Bye bye.